the 4th. Everyone to rise and pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. At this time, what we would like to do is to see if the board members had any comments on the minutes or the report given by Jennifer. That you,
Given a report, yeah.
was, you emailed it. Was there any
Yeah.
comments that you wanted to add to it, Jen? I'm
No.
sorry.
No, not that I know of.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll second.
And I think that there was a typo. What we need, and I think what you were waiting for is the vouchers. Did we have any comments or questions regarding the vouchers? Jen, is there anything that you'd like to address regarding that?
I had asked her before the meeting, just because on the vouchers for CenterPoint Energy that we all know is through the roof and everything.
And it just went up. I see where it says ballpark. I don't know why it says
It
ballpark.
said ballpark
Yeah.
for over $1,000.
Yeah, it's not, it's, when it says center point, it's all the electric together,
This
the,
place and everything.
yeah, the street lights, yeah.
So I questioned it.
I guess it just put, I don't know why it put ballpark. Good question. I don't know.
Hey, at least you know I read the.
But yeah, cause whenever I pay them, I like itemize it out on the voucher for what it goes to. So that probably just caught the
Sheriff's
first one.
station here.
Yeah, and it just probably caught the first one and stuff off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just one
It's
of
for
those
everything.
water in the road.
Oh, I'll be sending that much to them.
I make a motion that we accept the financial report to take the vouchers.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Jen, do you have a treasurer's report?
Yeah. Our. Sorry. Our funds, ledger with the investments, the total is $439,668.41. I don't know if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Anything else, Jen?
No, not really. I ain't got much going on. I got a bunch going on, but not enough.
Now, is there any old business to be brought before the board? That's okay. New business,
I just wrote that down.
the only new business, and this is really gonna be more directed toward Randy, but Smith Homes sold another lot to some folks. Where did the new red home, what was the corner? What's that address, Randy?
It's corner 4th Street there.
What, and they're gonna get with you, and Ron's gonna get with you on this, but they're requesting, they want the board to be aware that they wanna buy that, it's a small lot, and they wanna buy, and they wanna make an upscale garage that matches the house. But Ron's writing in the contract, and he wants Randy to look at it. For what it's gonna be, the garage is gonna have the motif of the house. It's gonna look exactly like it. So the front will look like a house, and the garage doors will be facing their house, their garage, the street there.
So the red house is gonna,
Buy across the street.
Right,
Oh, gotcha.
right. And he said that, and he's talked to Bruce about this.
I actually talked to him this afternoon about language put in contract and make sure it's what looks at the street is gonna look like a house as opposed to just a pole barn.
Right, so
So they're gonna submit the design or something, or a rendering, or?
Yeah, he's gonna need to, we've had that discussion before. We need to submit, even with some of these yard barns and things, they need to submit some kind of rendering as far as,
I assume that they will when they get the building permit, but Ron,
well, they have to actually submit that before they get the building.
right, but now Ron's not gonna be the builder.
Ron's not gonna build it, he's going to sell it to them, but he's going to put that in the contract, that the rendering has to be that way.
Oh, he's selling the property.
Yes, he sold the property.
Yes.
But he said that he wanted you to be aware of it.
That
He wanted
he was gonna put that restriction on the property, but make the letters come through town.
And
It's the people that are in the big red house?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. And it's like the Clifford, the Big Red Dog. See, it's
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And then, and also to bring you up to, speed, Ron has also sold 2 more new houses that he's gonna apply to Randy to build. And then, also to bring you up to speed on our medical complex, the engineer has been working with the architect and they're finishing up and they're working with the state on any drainage to make sure it all drains properly. And probably in the next few weeks, you'll see all this taken down. And Ron and the developer wanted, or the developers, not just Ron, wanted permission if the town would allow them to go over and take this old tree off of the building. It's laying on that old Blair building, the old hardware store building. And he said they would do that at no cost. They were just gonna take care of it, but they wanted the board's approval to do so. Uh-huh,
No.
yeah,
Will the brick wall fall down?
probably not. But they do want to get that tree out of the way. And if that's not a problem with the board.
I'm fine with it.
You need to send them something in writing, you think?
What do you think, Bruce?
It's town-owned property, that's basically, are you saying, we will let you, because otherwise we have to pay for it, get it out.
Yes, but I'm just saying that way if the wall does fall down or something strange happens, they're not liable. Because that's pretty,
Yeah,
pretty,
that's,
that's a pretty big tree and it's pretty shaky,
uh,
the wall.
yeah. I guess I'm from the standpoint, someone's gotta do something free for me. I'm not beginning to put a lot of restrictions on it.
No, well, I just say,
I think that's my concern. I don't want to put a lot of restrictions on somebody that's gonna do something free for
no, I'm not saying for restriction, I'm saying just, give them some kind of a written, more than just a handshake and a guarantee.
them. See what they want to do, they've got their own methods. I don't.
As I said, I don't think the liability be on them. So
Right.
they're the ones that should request.
Right. He just wanted the board to give their approval to encroach on the property to remove it. And
I'm all for free anything.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Who's
it.
gonna remove it?
well, it'll be Swift Development,
Okay.
whoever he's using.
Yeah, there's a contractor on the property, is it?
Right.
I'm just gonna put in the notes.
I have a question because them starting with demolition makes me think of construction with dumpsters and their trash and removal, and you were gonna
Well-
make an ordinance?
Well, we've got in our language in our existing ordinance, where you tell them they can that they have to control trash on their property. And it's up to them whether to put it.
So we don't need a new, because last month.
We talked about it, and after that, I went and reread the ordinance. What our ordinance says that they have responsibility to control the trash. Now, how they decide to do that is, as far as I'm concerned, it's up to them. As far as saying you have to rent a particular dumpster, you have to have now whether they put a trailer of their own on site, fill it, or whether they put a set of dumpster, how.
Well, is the terminology control the trash a little vague? What I'm trying to say is, do we
Well-
need to make it a little more
Well,
specific?
we can, but I don't.
They may say.
Now,
"Oh, I put it all on."
now, how specific you want it? You want a 9x12, you want a 90-yard dumpster, you can't be on wheels, did you?
No, but
When you get
I'm
specific.
I'm just saying,
Containerize might be a word. If they could containerize it, then they
yeah,
put it in
But
because that's what happened with one of those sites, is they just put on a big pile.
Well-
If they, their definition of controlling the trash may be different than my definition. Their definition may be, oh, I just gathered it and put it all in a pile, and that's what was blowing around town versus.
Well, at that point, they've not controlled it. But that's- Once it,
That's what I'm
Once-
saying.
once
The
it moves-
definition of controlling it is.
you tell me what kind of container you want to have and put it in, I don't like to.
No,
know.
I'm not saying I want to.
I know.
I'm just saying, it's a little vague to just
Well,
say
I-
control the trash.
I think by nature, it needs to be a little vague, because some of these guys have got their own little roll-off dump trailers. They'll park a trailer there, a dump trailer, where they can hook a pickup to and switch them out. Some of them will put a container there that, that a company will come pick up and dump it in there. And I
So.
don't know.
Could Ron, if someone, I think this all started from a pile of trash that was blowing.
Yeah.
So with our existing ordinances, he could have,
But the sign would say that you failed to control your trash.
so he could have cited them for a violation.
I think so. And under my definition, I think you can. Because the fact that you've got it in a container doesn't mean it doesn't blow out of the container. So you put it in a container, it blew away, so now what's my penalty? I put it in a container, it didn't stay.
My philosophy on that would be, at least you made zero effort to control it. When you just have it in a pile, that's the problem that we
Well, I
got.
understand, but then at that point, if it moves, they haven't control it. They've got to put it in fences or
I
whatever.
still
but-
think it's vague. But
Well, I think.
I think.
You
it'd be
tell me-
vague from both sides.
You tell me how you want to describe it, but I think the vagueness probably works to our advantage too. Once we see trash out there, you didn't control
So I'm gonna immediately tick them,
it. Huh?
so I can immediately fine them.
Whatever, read the ordinance, whatever says the ordinance, when they violation that part of the ordinance, yes.
I think you get a conversation with them from the start. I think we
I-
checkmate it.
I think that's the important part.
I
of
think
it,
we'll,
communication.
we don't want to, we want to be stringent, but we don't want to choke it either, you know?
Well, and that's fine, and we have the conversation with them, but the interpretation was, I'm gonna put it on a pile. And
Well,
every-
that's not acceptable, that's not controlling.
well, in their eyes, it was.
Well, but that doesn't keep the vermin out, that doesn't keep.
I agree, once you say it's in a 12 by 12 container, then that's 12 by 12 container. So we'll go with the theory of.
I would recommend we try what we got. And if we continue to have a problem, then we will
Reel it in.
we'll reel it in and make it more, but
Because what would be the ideal situation is, as we get more builders, and they're gonna be new builders to us, is that, and that's why I say about my philosophy is, if you're gonna build something, you need to submit a plan. A rendition of what you're planning on doing. That way,
that's whatever the ordinance from that standpoint.
that way we.
I
have-
I don't have a problem with that, but
And keeping it controlled, is there a time frame? In other words, even if you have a container or a dump truck or something, usually it would be removed at a certain time, where a pile could stay there for 6 months, a year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of
It-
times the contractors will bring a container, some
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, but it,
apparatus in,
but
and they
it,
may keep it there for the duration of the job.
duration of construction, yeah.
okay,
Say, so, it costs money to take it to the dump. It's $40-some a ton, top of my head. So they're gonna get it
Until
compact
small.
as much in there as they can.
I understand.
And so, it's not unusual. It's the idea of not having it in a freelance pile that they burn, that they
Yeah,
do
no,
all
I
these
can't,
things
no,
with.
burns, really.
Well, that's what's been, but again, as we get new companies coming in and, build the buildings.
And I think
We can address it.
I think it needs to be addressed when they come and get their permit. Look,
Yes.
this is part of it. You
You
have to
It's
have.
like, like Dan was saying, have that conversation. That's why as we get bigger, better, we learn from the construction of what's happened. And, we've had some good buildings going up.
Yeah.
And, we've had some little flaws. So I think now we've learned a little bit more, I have anyways, as far as, the advantages, the contractors are trying to take. And, some have taken heed and some push it beyond. So if we get to that point, if we know what they're building and we know what the expectations are, they know what the town's expectations are, I think, it's gonna be a lot better project. Because our projects are getting bigger now. There's more exposure, there's more people that it's gonna affect in the community. Through traffic, through trucks on the streets, through trash, just everything.
Well, I just know if they're gonna tear this down, they gotta be hauling a.
Yeah, but.
But
yes,
those are not really gonna be our biggest concerns. Honestly.
Yeah.
More
Because those are
it's your residential home building.
Yes.
They'll put that on the truck as they
Yeah,
get.
they'll come in and like they did when they came in, start tearing some of these homes down. They'll come in with the trackhoe, backhoe, whatever they're gonna use, and they'll have, their fleet of trucks, that's not really our bigger issue. Our bigger issue starts when we have this, the other, building contractors, if you will, because they operate on a different format. It's just the easy way to say it.
I think the way to kind of finish up the conversation, do exactly what Bruce said. When they do the building permit, you've got the throttle and you get them on the way in. And if you set the time, like I know you will.
This is our expectation.
Yes.
So this segues me into now to you, Randy. So you're up.
Well, I have my report that I made up, our monthly report. The only real change we have on it is there's one there for the North Walnut. It's about the 1, 2, 3, 4th one down. And the notice came back on that again. So Bruce and I briefly talked about it. Once the weather clears up a little bit, that might be one that we have to take a look at from the board standpoint on what we want to do.
So I think we've given all the legal notices. We've complied with the legal notice process.
And I stopped in there 2, 3 times personally and talked to the residents that are staying there. I've asked them to put me in contact with the other party that's supposedly is taking the property over and all this, and that's totally to no avail.
So
So,
what's our options?
We go ahead and we do whatever we think's proper. Whether at some point, whether we go in and clean it up and try to put a lien against the property, or whatever, but we've given them notice that they're in violation. So now it's whatever I think we need to take a look. We want to try to, at some point, may want to try to clean the whole lot, just haul it all off. It's gonna cost us some money to do it, and probably we can put a lien against the lot.
I've seen them all in
Prob-
that,
probably
and
gonna
I've
cost
seen them
more
all in
than
trash
us.
off and stuff
Yes.
too.
It's gone.
but there's still a lot of trash there.
Yeah.
Still not in compliance by any means.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, they have been working on it, cause they don't have a vehicle. Whenever they get somebody there, from which trailer, yeah, I
So
have.
They
seen
actually
them.
had a deadline of February 1st.
Yeah,
So with the weather, I've extended that, personally, I've extended. just a little
Yeah.
bit
yeah,
Because there's.
Yeah.
but-
they're making an effort, they are.
That's-
We've seen
And
them,
that's something.
But that's the renters. It's
And
not,
that's- yeah,
it's not the owner.
that's-
Yeah, I know.
that's a board
it's the
decision.
people that live
At
there,
this point, I think we've got past the legal hurdle of giving them the notice.
Yes.
If they wanted to challenge.
But you think they have been trying to clean up?
yeah, we've seen them
Other
haul
ones.
out, we've seen them haul like truck and wagon full of trash. They hauled off both of those cars
They have so
that were
far,
out
they have so
there,
much.
but they do, they have, but they don't have a vehicle now, so.
And it's not the
Yeah.
property owner that's doing
It-
this.
yeah.
It's
The
people that
renters
stay.
are actually cleaning it up.
Was it
Yeah.
their stuff?
No,
Oh, gosh, no, that stuff's been
No.
there forever.
No.
I don't know whose stuff.
actually,
it is, but
I
yeah.
tagged it. What started this whole thing off was that this has been stopped at several times because they've constantly been in violation. And that's where this is going. The last few times I stopped in, I actually talked to individuals personally. So they reassured me that they would do something with it because I tagged it.
Well, I can understand with this weather, they can't.
Yes, but there was not a lot of progress made up into that weather point. So when I stopped in prior to the weather, which was probably December, first part of December, I say, when the weather all set in, they were to a point where they had reached their means. Whether it be they couldn't haul it anymore or just were done.
Yeah.
But, you know, the home itself has part of the backsides falling off, it's just rough. So in no ways it meet our building requirements, our building codes, it's in total violation. But the problem that creates is that the people who are staying there won't provide me with the proper contact. All we have is the notification that we have on the county courthouse records, and we've exhausted all means to that record.
Maybe they don't know.
Not my problem.
Oh, I know. I mean, that might be why they can't give it to you. They might not know.
So somehow they're staying there.
I know it's just been a mess.
So there's other avenues that, since Bruce and I've talked about, there's other avenues now that I have the liberty of going
They do
into.
This place with the trash existing,
Pardon.
the
Wait.
trash was already there.
It's always
Remember
been.
that crazy text we got, or the email? Yeah,
So now we're at liberty that I can take more steps legally without,
Yes, we put the landowner on those.
So are we going to?
well, we don't have to decide that today.
Yeah, probably next month, whenever the
well,
snow's gone and the weather's.
Yeah, I'll give you an update again at next month's meeting, and I mean, because we still need to track down the regular owner.
And at some point, you gotta decide how much money you want to
Yes.
spend to do it.
And there's still somebody staying, residing out there. So that's a different issue I gotta deal with. But legally, you know, I can go onto the property and on behalf of the town. So,
Yes.
you know, we,
I don't want to bring up the big secret. Is it condemnable?
Probably.
I'm sure.
it actually was, I tagged it.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned that word, I actually tagged it because it's really rough. I mean, the whole backside
I'm
is full.
sure it's,
But
who knows?
we didn't think anybody was staying.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, somebody popped up all the woodwork here. Somebody came to the door and shocked me.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
It
if
shocked my grandson because I
water-
had my grandson with me, which is 25 years old, because I didn't want to go there by myself just in case. So we were out doing other things and we made that one of the stops for the day. And
Is it worth
how they're doing this,
is it worth notifying the sheriff's department about this property?
That there's
Letting-
somebody living in it?
We're not,
they say they have permission. But when I ask them who they're getting permission from,
Well,
I don't have to call trespassers.
yes.
But how can you rent out a condemned building?
Who knows? We don't know at this point. It is rent, or they're just.
They're- yeah.
They say the only thing they do is pay the utilities.
I don't know.
That's why I was wondering if they had utilities.
They have electric.
Okay.
Would it
I
have-
didn't think they could hook up electric to a condemned building.
Well, you remember that
Yeah,
house
something
that used to be
before we
next to us? The house that used to be next to us?
Yeah.
And these people came in and started going through it and we had to call the police.
Right?
When the police were there, they made these people call the people that own it to confirm they had permission to be there. And they did have permission to be there.
And we can go this route. Legally now we have.
But I'm just
have more to go
saying,
that way.
The police made those people call. so
Because
they
now
could
we have a
talk to them.
concern for our community.
I wonder if it passed electrical inspection.
Oh, I would be very surprised if it would.
See, that's what, I wonder. if
Well, but we have to be able to get to that point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You
He's
know,
got to go in and look at it before we can.
yeah, there's no way I'm going in.
Now we have the right, we've done the notices, now we have the right to start going on, doing some examining.
Yeah, so I mean, I've talked to the individual who's staying there. There's two gentlemen. I talked to them both. They understand where I'm coming from. They're one of the ones that I showed up in my work car, confronted me about it. I fixed that problem. We've talked about fixing that problem. So I've got,
You know, and
so every time I go to their residence now, I'm gonna have a town call.
at some point. It's not, I know it's not our job, but we may be looking at helping them find alternative places to live.
Yeah.
If that would, because if you displace somebody,
Right.
even though they may not have a right to be there, you're still in effect displacing them, and just from a human
Yeah.
standpoint, you don't have to live in the street. Here's some help on where you can.
I mean, they've been super sweet. Like I said, once they knew that this was for real, they were change of attitude. But what made me upset was that every time I put a sticker on there, and I told them, I said, this is not just me, this is a town ordinance. Every time I did that, go around the block and come back, it was off.
Okay, so we're gonna wait a month till the snow.
We're gonna give them that little bit of opportunity, do the humanitarian part of this, to
Yeah.
get through the ice and snow. And, but we've got a plan, we're gonna approach.
Should be for 50s, almost 60 by the middle of next week, so.
Yes,
How's the residents across from the sheriff's substation?
they actually were on the list, and, they pulled 1 or 2 vehicles out. They were all aware of the situation. The property owner has been contacted via email or via mail. And so it's just a matter of now when and how far do we want to start pushing that as far as the fines? Because that's what you're down to.
When was the last time you sent something to them?
2 weeks ago. I talked to them like all the time.
Oh,
I mean, they call.
oh,
They're like goods, I mean, they're
so
really,
they're getting the mail, because most of the time you would reject it.
yes, but after, like I said, when I start showing up on a consistent basis. And
No, I mean,
it's kind of, my grandson was saying, it seemed like I always gravitate towards one end of town. So he said. So we've been working on one end of town, which seems to be our little problem areas. And everybody's coming around. It just takes time. It just takes time.
It's your rentals, isn't it?
Well, it's not just rentals, it's just everything takes time. People have had this for so long, and, we're coming in and wanting to take and change things. And that's tough. I mean, it's hard for some people just to take the concept.
Maybe Bruce is right. Maybe we need a little more humanitarian. Maybe we need to show them an alternative.
Well, we've had that in other,
The Boyer effect.
yes. That's what, yes.
We,
Boyer was here, he helped them.
yeah, he will find a place for them. And it worked though,
It
It worked because most of them, because a lot of them, they're tired of seeing Randy and we've harassed them and everything. And they get to the point where it's like,
Well, it's not harassment, it's trying to let them understand that this is the expectation of the community.
right,
The expectation of the community has changed over the years.
I'm thinking if you're in a condemned house, even if you have electricity, I'm thinking it's cold out there and there's a lot of precip.
I've been dealing with one in the township that person was evicted. They came in, broke the locks, went back in. There's been no power since April. They are in there with kids. Every time we call the sheriff's department, they clear out. But then they burned the house down a couple weeks ago. So,
They got cold. They got
no,
cold.
they apparently had moved on and they didn't like that the property owner was forcing them out. And so they came back and lit it in the middle of the night.
Allegedly.
No, they got caught. They were still there when the cops showed up.
Oh, wow.
Well, anyway, I'm more concerned that if in this weather, you're trying to live in a condemned house, it can't be
So one
healthy.
person's rags is another person's riches. So, they're happy where they're at.
Right, if they got a roof over their
Yeah,
head,
they're
they're not
happy
out
where
in
they're
the
at.
alley.
They see, they're fine.
Beach, highway.
Yeah,
They're fine where they're at, but they do know that this decision day is coming. So what are they gonna do? They'll probably wait till the very last minute. It's fine, it's their choice. But, Bruce and I have talked about it, and now, because I didn't want to go on the property, and this is with everybody's property, and not have legal grounds, I guess, legal authority. And so now, through everything we have done, especially on this one, and then this one that Dan's talking, referring to, we're at that point that, I can go onto the property. If I have fears, if you will, I probably will call the sheriff's department. I've done it before. I'm not bashful at all. Because, I don't want to get threatened. That's why I took my grandson with me last time. It's just, he's a pretty big boy.
But we haven't heard back from the owner that we get from the courthouse records.
No. Every time we send something, it comes back.
Yeah.
We send certified, we send registered, we've done US mail there was a new address listed up in a different community way up north. We sent it up there and it just came back. Recently talked about it. We've done everything legally we need to.
It's incumbent upon the landowner to keep the county taxing authority apprised of your correct address. When we sent it to the same address that the county taxing authority uses.
The
So
taxes paid for?
Actually,
so we've complied.
somebody's paying, that's why I showed up.
Somebody's paying the taxes.
Oh,
Well, there's a lot to that whole story. But, you know,
Yes.
so we'll work on it, we'll get it going, you know, the
Well,
other
there's
ones.
that, snow's gotta melt.
Monday, I got somebody to talk to.
Pardon?
Monday, I got somebody to talk to, so I'll
Oh,
bring
What
it
am I
up
doing
with
with puzzles?
You're gonna see some, once the weather breaks a little bit, you're gonna see some more tagging. I've got that on here, the vehicle tags and vehicles. I've either approached some of these folks, you know, the residents, or they will be addressed, but we're gonna start utilizing a tag system. And that usually gives them 30 days to come back with a plan.
We have the ones that got a license.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if it moves, but it's licensed.
No, it's
registered.
Yeah, it hasn't moved, but it's licensed. So
Hey,
they're
they
legal.
did what they're supposed to do, that's right.
And then, that's one on there that they had some mowers and things, and they say they use it for mowing the grass. So we'll see. That's on their list. I try to keep you up pretty much on what's going on. There's a couple of basketball goals that are real close to the street on, Oak Street. And I mentioned to them, one of the gentlemen said that I talked to the parent, that he was gonna move it back, at least back off, so the net itself is off the road. And it's still sitting there, so they received another letter, another notice, so the next time it'll be levied a fine. If they don't move it. They need to move it back off the right of way, is what they need to do. They use it for playing in the street is what they do. So I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to play in the street, but move it when you're done.
Move it back.
Yeah.
Well, you can't move these right here.
What is this about the speeding and?
I did check into that. I talked to one of the other smaller communities, and they told me that they had nothing to do with it. The Department of Transportation, NDOT, placed it. That it just showed up one day.
It's part of that
Yeah.
grant money they got.
It just showed up.
I don't know how they
But it's
decide
her
where.
name didn't get, grant money and that.
Right, NDOT got like a grant money,
And just.
and they put up like, do you notice all the road signs and,
I noticed them, just noticed we didn't get.
so I mean, I know, I know they had grant money for road signs and stuff like that they've been doing. I don't know how they determine it or,
I'm gonna check in with, into it a little bit more. I just found this out just the other day. I had another board
Okay,
meeting.
because I was thinking the town said.
No, that's okay. They just, I talked to two different communities and it just showed up one day. I think what they did is they did a count, because they all vaguely remember
yes,
having that
they
count.
do, they did, I
They
remember that.
remember having a count. You know how you put that
The
counter
black
out there?
strips.
We don't have enough.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen a counter out there, have we? I think that's the first step.
Okay.
So, but,
Maybe
nobody-
when they come to work on the road,
Maybe when they come to do.
they'll
all this,
realize.
Before they leave, they'll put up some.
yeah.
But that's all I have.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a quick thing, I forgot. NDOT, I got the construction inspection contract for USI, for us using them for it. And I send it to Brandy at NDOT, and we're just, they have to go through everything, make sure the verbiage and all that is right. So I haven't heard back from her yet. So we're waiting for that in order for the board to sign it. And so,
That's it, that's just. The construction contract right there.
oh yeah, and a bunch of other stuff I got filed with it. You want it?
But I appreciate. it.
But yeah, I mean, I got it. I just waiting for Brandy. Sometimes she'll say they want this word. I mean, they have a bunch of changes that's going through. I've got a bunch of emails on changes, like who to send stuff to and new codes and, have a feeling that I'm gonna mess up one at a time or two, but you know, what can I, they'll tell me it's wrong, now send it back.
Can I
Yes,
throw
sir.
one more thing in here I missed on my report?
Yes, sir.
One thing that I want to bring up, that since we've talked about the medical facility coming to the community, that we've had a lot more interest. My phone has actually rang several times, so people just want to know about the community. If, you know, like if a doctor's actually gonna come into it, and my understanding is we're going to have some kind of practitioner of some kind.
Yes, there's they've got 2 nurse practitioners that'll be there 5 days a week.
Okay. Well, I just want to be sure I was suggesting the correct terminology. But they also want to know about the housing coming. If there's going to be any additional housing coming. And my answer to that was yes, it's going to be a little bit slower process, but the community will have newer homes being built, correct? Or is that-
We
Anticipate, we anticipate.
Randy introduced me to a builder the other day, brought him down, and you can thank Randy for this, and they're looking to put 4 homes up. They contacted me this week. And so,
Because the question that was presented by different constituents is that, or is it gonna be more remodeling of the older homes here, or actually gonna be new homes? And my answer to them was that both is what it started out as, and the leadway was, we're actually looking at building some newer homes. Some of the homes are being renovated, but there's property here that you could build a new home.
But all the new homes that have been built have been sold, right?
except for the one across from,
They're all like maybe one,
right, and that's only because there's trees hanging over the top of it. And
there's trees hanging over it, it's been a little bit of delay.
And that's what, and as soon as the trees are removed, they're gonna take care of that when they take care of all this over here.
I think that's impressive, that.
Well, and that's why I think it's creating interest, is that, you know, you have realtors out here who are marketing these homes. And, you know, these are not low-end homes, you know, like $100,000 homes, these are nicer homes. So that's why the word is out, you know, on the street.
And you can thank Randy for this, because Randy brought a builder the other day, and he shot me the initial plans of, they're between 275 and 300,000 a home. And
They
when
feel
it's,
comfortable in doing that.
but before we'd ever pull the trigger on it, I want to sit down with all you guys and let you take a look at it and see what they're proposing, and see what you guys think about it. But it was, you know, because we're putting some parameters on around them. But then one of the things they requested out of Randy is we continue to clean up on some of the existing problems that Randy's addressing. That was the only concern they had. They said,
As long as they realize it's a slow process.
right,
And they do.
Right.
We discussed that. It's not something that's gonna happen. They're not expecting an overnight, you know, miracle. Because, you know, we have people who've been in this community for years, you know, generationals. So, well, and so, you know, and that's what I was referring to earlier, to make that change, if you will. You know, one person's rags is another person's riches theory, you know, but their concern was is they don't want to have $200 and some $1,000 home next to
One of
yes.
our issues.
Yes, to our trailer we just discussed.
right. And how long before that trailer's gone? They said, we're willing to build it, but how long is it gonna be before we get them out of
Yes. And that's what we're working on. That's where Bruce came to.
Right. But I want to keep you all abreast of what's going on, and if there is interest, and they shot plans the other day, and I haven't had time to look at them, I'll bring the plans and let you guys look before, but they look fantastic. They were quality, if not better quality than what's been put up now.
These are all builders. These are developers.
Right. And see, once again, what makes it attractive is because we have the infrastructure. That's the whole, and the lot costs are so cheap. Because you go north here, the next county, north, the lot's going for 50 a lot. And here you can get them between 15 and 25. So that is a huge difference.
And I don't think we're to this point. At what point, because I just wanted the sidewalks. But at what point do we have to put
Just
in
get in your
the
sidewalks.
drainage? Do you know what I mean? You start building all these houses, there's gonna be more runoff, more, what are you gonna do with all this water if we're in the bottom of a lake bed? Do you know what I mean? At some point, that if we keep building houses, we're going to have to address.
Well, that's where you try to come up with your mass plan.
That's a great problem.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that one.
And you know,
Most of the developers-
Well, yeah, but I don't wanna put in a new sidewalk and then have to tear it up because we gotta put in it.
No, most of your developers, and that's the approach that we look at, is more than a one-house builder. We've been fortunate in that the people who have contacted us are quote unquote developers. They don't want to build just one house. They're not interested in just one house. There's no money in just one house. So you can still have your individual builder. If you want a home, an individual builder will build you a home. They'll build me a home.
These are spec houses.
But they're more what you call spec. They're gonna come in and they're gonna build, for them to come in and build 4 homes is nothing. As long as the property's here, and as long as they know they can sell them, and that's why I say they plan it, they market it from day one. So they deal, we discussed the runoff, and expressed to them how our water tables are concerned. So they're aware of all these, so they're starting this plan of development already.
but the main thing, what we've got to do is we got to keep the equilibrium price on it, with where they don't take advantage of us. You don't want them to build a house and we get rid of one set of problems for another set of problems. That's where we've got to be
Well, that's what
judicious on our
I'm
side.
saying.
That's why I want you guys to see the plans and see what they've got in mind and make sure we're all on the same page.
Right, well, you want the builder to have buy-in and have the same vision the town council has.
Right. You don't want him to lick it, stick it, and get out of here, then all of a sudden, we're sitting there holding the bag. Because we've all worked too hard to get to this point. Thanks, Randy. But Randy's been unbelievable in all this. Now he's pushing a lot of things. Annie, it's up to you.
Okay, Parks and Rec Board. First off, our Nathan reported that he hasn't got his crew together to install the merry-go-round. He said his excuse was the snow.
Well, I would say that's a valid.
Yeah, I know. Chad, did you see what Chad told you? That our grandson stays up crying every night for the victor. He knows where the team's.
Yeah, he's working on that. So anyway, we wanted to report that. Pickleball court funds for the fence are continuing to come in. So thank you for everybody who's contributed. We appreciate that. Our Easter egg hunt is set for April the 4th at 10 a.m. We just have set the date, so we'll be soliciting requests for funds, candy, egg stuffing.
Did you get with Tara?
Yeah, that's on.
Is that when they're gonna do something? I know they're wanting to in
We
April.
just said it like within the last 2 days. So
Okay,
I have it written down.
I would guess that's probably close to when they would wanna have it.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll let her know. See, last year Hatfield kind of piggybacked off
Mhm.
our date, so I'll let them know as well.
What time is ours?
10 a.m. We were considering, let's see, that's the day before Easter. Because Easter is April the 5th. But the weekend before apparently is spring break for the kids.
Yep.
So, the families. So we decided to do it the day before Easter based on that. So anyway, but I'll let Tara know.
Sure.
And then Christmas in the park, I think that we set the date for that after we wrapped up our meeting, so.
The 13th, is that what you have
So I
to?
do want to put it out there that we have scheduled it for December 13th. That's a Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. So we'll got that on the calendar. And that's all I got.
Anything, Chad?
I'd like to shout out to Mike Russell for cleaning the streets.
Yes.
We only had a couple people complain, but, I mean, he was out there in our old tractor with no cab and below 0 temperatures, doing the best he can. And I mean, that's really something, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, we had a school bus driver call, which she said one of her streets, I know what street it was, Lincoln Division, like where it goes up and turns around. I mean, there's a lot of trees there, and Mike got it, and Mike had ice donated to him, so he went the other night, or salt, ice donated. I told him take all he wanted off the streets.
Ice is cheap.
Yeah, and she said it was a little hard to get kids on that road, which I understand, but you might have to have the kid to walk through the end of the street, He did clean it, he already cleaned it up, but he went back over there, it was a little slushy, so he got some more off and threw down some salt, but it just rose the next day, so there's really, we tried.
Yes.
That's a pro of not using sidewalks, and you don't have to clear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna want a shovel, we're gonna have to figure something else out about that.
Yeah.
That's what,
Heated sidewalk.
one of the,
Oh, yeah, I don't,
I wanna see the price tag on that one.
one of the things that's taking a little while longer on this over here is because they are working with both NDOT and USI and everything on the drainage to address the drain, because that's the big concern. They're looking to make sure how they're gonna drain, how they're gonna hook it into their drains, so we're not gonna have we don't wanna be sitting here a year from now and have 2 or 3 of them standing here going, we got a drainage problem.
yeah, with
There's,
our,
uh,
and with,
I just saw, Rita and David's place right behind there.
they've already talked to them.
Yeah, they've been wonderful. In fact, they've already given them the easement to run a brand new line, and they're gonna address all the issues all along behind all of them. So,
But with NDOT and the park, USI is working with the NDOT engineer, and they're gonna do all the ADA crossings and everything, that same company is gonna do it,
it's like Randy
like
said,
at one time.
it's like Randy said, if you get that going in this building over here and you get another house or 2, we're gonna get complaints out the wazoo, there's mud all over the streets.
Yeah. It's just, I haven't heard when NDOT's gonna do their, I know they're coordinating those. I mean, they can go around the park, but they're putting a crosswalk by the church in the park. I feel like they were gonna do one more, but now I can't remember where it's at. I feel like it's up in here somewhere, but I could be wrong.
I thought I heard something about it being here on Adams.
But that's what I was thinking.
Right here, this right here.
Yeah, but I don't remember now.
See if I have anything. Not,
Nathan's not here.
Nathan, not-
Yeah. we can't go.
I vote that we adjourn.
That's second.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you.
So we all.
Yes. Should come back.